Good evening and welcome to the Universal Joy Center. I'm Barbara Jean, your host and your spiritual facilitator, or whatever you want to call me. Anyway, I'm so delighted that you are here today and I want to welcome you. Let us begin with our opening spiritual mind treatment. As I take a breath and relax into this moment, I accept and know that this day is truly a gift, that each and every one of us are some part of some remarkable expression of spirit that is fully realized here and now as joy, love, peace, celebration, and good. So I know tonight as we gather together that something wonderful is occurring, something beautiful is happening, and I'm excited and delighted by it. I open my mind and heart and accept that here and now, good is all around. With that in mind, filled with excitement and delight, I release these ideas into the law of mind. I know it is done, that all is well. I let that be the truth. And together we say, and so it is. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so delighted that you are here with us today. And I just want to begin with our land acknowledgement. We are honored to be meeting on this land that many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people from across Turtle Island call home. We acknowledge and thank the original caretakers and knowledge keepers of this territory. We also give thanks to all other Indigenous peoples, recorded and unrecorded, who have shared responsibility for this territory. We therefore strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation. We recognize our oneness and acknowledge our realities, both past and present, and we commit to moving forward in a spirit of mutual cooperation. We are one. Miigwech. Well, I am so delighted to be with you here. As always, Wednesday night is the highlight of my week. And tonight's message is just so good. When you stop pushing, life starts moving. Releasing control and trusting the flow of life. Wow, that can be a stretch for some of us, can't it? Well, wherever you're joining us from tonight, I invite you to take a moment and just to simply arrive. Just take a breath. Allow your shoulders to soften. Just allow the busyness of the day to settle. And remember that you're not here by accident. Something within you has called you into this moment. So tonight we explore a powerful spiritual paradox. When we stop pushing, life starts moving. I know it sounds backwards, doesn't it? But we've been taught that if we want something, we must force it, chase it, manage it, control it, and obviously work harder. Yet many of us have discovered that some of our greatest breakthroughs arrived the moment we stopped struggling. So tonight we're going to explore what happens when we loosen our grip and trust the deeper intelligence of life, that intelligence that's within us. I just want to start with a story. A woman was trying desperately to untangle a delicate gold necklace. Been there. The more frustrated she became, the faster she worked. She pulled, she twisted, she yanked, and each attempt made the knot tighter. Finally, exhausted, she set it down and walked away. A few minutes later, she returned, took a deep breath, and gently examined the knot. Within minutes, she saw what she had been missing. The knot hadn't changed. She had. The problem wasn't the necklace. The problem was the energy she was bringing to it. So how often do we do the same thing with our lives? We push harder when relationships become difficult. We push harder when money gets tight. We push harder when answers don't come quickly. And sometimes the very thing we're trying to force is being delayed by the forcing. I know. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Spirit is never in a hurry." Think about that. The universe creates galaxies without rushing, flowers bloom without anxiety. A tide never panics, the seasons never worry about whether spring will arrive, and yet we often live as though everything depends entirely on us. We grip the steering wheel of life so tightly and our hands hurt, and then we wonder why we are exhausted. I remember when I was learning how to golf, and I would grip that club with as much strength as I could muster, and then I'd go to hit the ball, and of course I'd end up digging a divot out of the grass, or I would knock the ball off the tee, or I would just miss altogether. And never want to do that on the first hole because everybody at the clubhouse is watching you. Um, anyway, what I learned was to hold the club lightly, to hold it almost loosely so that there was movement. And it took me a while because I really like to control it. So the great misunderstandings in spirituality is believing that surrender means doing nothing. It doesn't. Surrender is not passivity. It's not laziness. It's not giving up. Surrender means releasing resistance while remaining available for action. And you might want to write that down because that is a great line. I'm just going to put it in the chat for you. The idea that we release our resistance, and remember, whatever you resist persists. We know we've heard that many times. And so when we're looking at the idea of surrender, we want to get real clear. It's not about giving up. It is about moving with the flow of the universe. So imagine rowing a boat upstream. It's hard. You can do it, but it's really difficult, isn't it? You're going against the grain, and every stroke requires enormous effort. Now imagine turning the boat around and moving with the current. You're still going to row, but now life assists you, right? The river assists you. The flow of the current is moving you along quickly. And the energy changes completely. The question isn't, am I working hard enough? The question is, am I working with life or against it? Now, I know for the first, most of my life, I worked against it for sure. And it took me a while to get to that place because I was taught you have to work hard to earn a living. And when I got into ministry, frankly, ministry is not hard for me. I actually find it effortless. I love it. That's why. That's why it's not hard. It's like, this is what I love to do. And so when I look at my life and I look at my journey and I look at, even when I first got into ministry, I would do my Sunday service and then I would crash on the couch for 3 hours. I was exhausted. And so I sat with that after a little while, after, I don't know, many months. And I thought, why am I so tired when I'm doing something I love to do? And what I realized was that the message I had received was you have to work hard to earn a living. And because they were paying me, I had to be exhausted from my work, right? I had to work hard. Now, all I changed was that idea where I went, wait a minute, no, I love this. This isn't hard work. This is joyful work. This is loving work. And so I let go of that idea that somehow working hard was the answer. Interestingly enough, I was then able to do a Sunday service, drive across town, do another Sunday service at another center, and come home and go out for a long walk along the beach or go see a movie or whatever. Like, I felt perfectly fine. And the only thing that changed was my belief in hard work. I no longer believed that working hard is how I was going to earn a living. So think about this for a minute. Have you ever spent hours looking for something only to find at the moment you stopped searching? Have you ever struggled to remember a name only for it to appear later while washing dishes? Have you ever tried to force a situation, then received the answer while taking a walk? Why do you think that is? Because relaxation opens pathways that pressure closes. When we're stressed, our vision narrows. When we're relaxed, our awareness expands. The answer often arrives when the pushing stops. So, a man was late for an important meeting, and as he drove downtown, every parking spot was full. Frustrated, he began bargaining with God, bargaining with the universe. Please, if you help me find a parking spot, I'll meditate every day. Still nothing. Okay, I'll volunteer more. Still nothing. Finally, I'll become a better person altogether. And then a parking spot opened directly in front of the building. The man looked up and said, "Never mind, I found one." Sometimes we don't actually want guidance, we want control. And life keeps inviting us into trust. The idea of relaxing into life is so powerful. One of the changes I made early on in my ministry, and of course later on in my life, because it took me a while, was I changed one word. Now we know the power of the word. And I changed one word, and the word I changed was hard. I used to say relationships are hard, and work is hard, and this is hard, and that is, I mean, everything was hard in my life. And I thought one day, I thought, wow, I keep saying that, and I keep teaching people your words have power. So I had to kind of look in the mirror for a second and go, okay, let me change a word. And I changed the word hard to the word easy. Both 4-letter words. Easy is just as easy to say as hard. So whenever I would catch myself going, oh, this is so hard, I would stop and go, wow, this is so easy. Interestingly, as I changed my languaging, my life began to change. And not particularly slowly, it actually changed quite quickly. So the spiritual truth, science mind teaches that there's one infinite intelligence operating everywhere. And that intelligence is already moving toward greater expression. Okay. The same power that beats your heart grows the trees, moves the planets, unfolds creation itself, is moving through your life. The problem isn't that life has stopped moving. The problem is often that we're standing in front of the doorway trying to direct traffic. We're trying to tell infinite intelligence how to do its job. How? Yeah. How is one of those things that trips most of us up, because we'll get an idea, we'll have a dream about something, and then we'll go, but I don't know how to do it. And then we stop. How is not our job. Having the vision, following the intuition, stepping into life moment by moment, day by day, that is. But how it's going to happen is not it. That's not it. How is not our job. So if you catch yourself asking how, stop right there and go, oh yeah, universe has got this. So what is my next move? The other thing that you want to take a look at is, the way that we move through our daily experience, and making sure that we pay attention to the way life is unfolding. If we're having a day where it seems like everything is going wrong, well, instead of focusing on all the wrongness of it, sit with it and just go, and just sit in the quiet for a moment. What is mine to do right now? And you might discover that there is something that you could do a little bit differently, very simple, something like changing one word from hard to easy, that could actually make a massive change. So we've all heard of those Chinese finger traps. It's a little tube, and the harder you pull, the tighter it becomes. So the only way out is to move toward the center first. The solution feels completely opposite to what logic suggests. And life kind of feels like that, doesn't it? The harder we pull, the tighter things become. The answer's often in softening rather than straining, trusting rather than controlling, allowing rather than forcing. Years ago, and I may have shared this story before. No, sorry. Um, I was taking my daughter, my eldest daughter, and grandchildren to the beach. And so I drove over to their house and parked the car and went in and sat and chatted with my daughter while we were getting the kids ready. And then I went in my purse to look for my keys and I couldn't find them. And so I'm tearing my purse apart, trying to find them. They're not there. Go in my pockets, not there. I walk back out to the car. I haven't dropped them anywhere, and they're not in the ignition. So they're not in the car either. So I'm like, where are they? And all that searching and searching brought nothing. So I just closed my eyes and sat there for a second. And I told myself, I know where they are because I put them there. And then I had this intuitive flash almost instantly. Well, it was right after my granddaughter said to her mom, "Is Nana sleeping?" So I started to laugh and I was like, yeah, no, Nana's not sleeping. So I turned around and I went into my purse again and I noticed a small tear in the lining and my keys had slid underneath. When we stop pushing, we will get an insight. I had the same thing with my wedding rings. Took them off one night because my hands were swelling and put it on the nightside table. When I got up in the morning, it was gone. And I'm like, oh man. And I'm searching and searching and searching for it because I think my husband will wonder how I managed to lose it. But I'm thinking, where could it have gone? Finally, after tearing the house apart for half an hour or more, I went and sat down and closed my eyes and said, I know where it is because I put it there. And I opened my eyes and I was sitting in the living room and there was sunlight coming in through the window behind me. And I saw a little glint of something under the baseboard in my hallway. And I went over and sure enough, it was my rings. And what I realized, well, I actually hadn't put it there. My kittens had. They had taken it off the nightstand and, took it down the stairs. They were having a great old time until it got stuck under the baseboard. But it was when I stopped trying to find it that I actually found it. Same thing with my keys. When we let go of the push that we're always doing, the trying to get it right, forcing things to happen, the minute we let all that go, everything changes. Everything changes. So when I stop pushing, it's like I can see the flow and I know where to go. I get insight or intuition into what would be the next best step for me. So I want to invite you just for a little reflection here. I want you to consider this. Where in your life are you pushing? Where in your life are you pushing? And if you have a piece of paper and pen, you could jot this down. Is it a relationship? Your career? A financial goal? Maybe your health? Spiritual growth? Where are you trying to force an outcome? And what would happen if you trusted the process just a little more? Just sit with that for a moment. Okay, I'm going to take you into a meditation. So I want you to just close your eyes if you're comfortable and just take a deep breath in and another. And just allow your body to relax. Allow your jaw to soften. Your shoulders release. Your hands unclench. And imagine yourself standing beside a beautiful river. The water moves effortlessly. No struggle, no force, no resistance. Simply movement. Now imagine placing into that river anything you've been carrying. The worry, the pressure, the need to control, the need to know, the need to make everything happen. And just watch it drift away. See it floating down the river, flowing far away till it's out of sight. Notice that the river continues moving. Life continues flowing. You don't have to push the river. You don't have to carry the current. You only need to trust. Feel yourself stepping gently into the flow, supported, guided, carried. A deeper wisdom already at work. A greater intelligence already moving through your life. You are safe. You are supported. You are guided. Sit with that. You are safe. You are supported. You are guided. And now gently affirm, I release struggle. I release struggle. I release pressure. I trust the wisdom of life. I allow good to unfold naturally. I move with grace and ease. Life is moving for me and through me. Life is moving for me and through me. And taking a deep breath in, bring your awareness back to the room. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. Perhaps the greatest act of faith is not believing that life can move mountains. Perhaps The greatest act of faith is believing that life can move our lives, not through force, not through struggle, but through cooperation, through trust, through allowing. I don't know. What do you think? So, a farmer planted seeds every spring, and after planting, he watered them and cared for them. But he never dug them up every morning to check their progress. He trusted the process. He knew growth was happening beneath the surface long before it became visible. Many of us have planted seeds in consciousness, seeds of healing, of prosperity, of love, of purpose. Tonight, life invites us to stop digging them up, stop checking every 5 minutes, stop demanding immediate evidence, and simply trust. The seeds know how to become the harvest. The ideas you plant, the universe has already said, yes, my beloved. And now Kathy will give us our offering.
At the Universal Joy Center, we believe in the spiritual law of circulation. Life flows, love flows, giving flows, receiving flows. Just as a river remains fresh through movement, abundance expands through circulation. If the Universal Joy Center supports your spiritual journey, we invite you to participate in that flow through your financial contribution. Your gift helps us continue creating spaces where people can feel awakened to their own joy, purpose, and possibility. And for those who feel called, our Joy Partnership monthly donor program offers an easy way to make a set monthly gift, providing stability and helping our community continue to thrive. Thank you for your generosity and your partnership in this work. And there's several ways you can give. You can do an e-transfer to admin@ujoyc.ca. You can click donate on our website at ujoyc.ca. Or you can mail a check to the Universal Joy Center. And the address can be found in the chat or on our website at ujoyc.ca. And now, please repeat the offering blessing after me. I give with gratitude. I receive with an open heart. May these gifts bless all they touch. Together, we live in the flow of joy and abundance. And so it is. We have many opportunities for you to join us this month as we explore our theme, Living in the Flow. Be sure to join us each week as we delve more deeply into this inspiring topic. There's a new class starting up based on the amazing book, The Untethered Soul. It begins on June 19th on Fridays, and it will run from 10 a.m. until noon. In addition, there's a meditation for beginners workshop coming up on June 27th. It will be online and will run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You will find the link to register for either of these classes in the chat. Please note that our website is currently under construction as we work to enhance your online experience. We appreciate your patience and look forward to unveiling our new and improved site soon. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for joining us this evening. And please like, share, and subscribe. Also, join us in the Zoom room now if you would like to ask questions, meet other members, or simply enjoy some conversation. The link is in the chat. And now Barbara will provide us with the closing treatment.
Thank you, Kathy. So let us join together in consciousness as we close our service today. Oh, with a feeling of love and peace and gratitude, I allow this moment to be what it is, divine perfection. I know in this moment and in every moment that there's a power for good, fully operational and fully available to me, fully available to each and every one of us. It is through this awareness and understanding that I begin to live in the flow of life with a sense of celebration and joy. I know that life can be easy. I know that life can be fun and interesting. And I know that even when challenged, there are opportunities for peace, for love, for clear expression of joy. And so I know that whatever comes, there is always a way through. So I relax, I breathe, and I surrender. And I accept and know that this day truly is a gift and a blessing. And I trust that, and I live from that awareness and understanding. And as I do so, good shows up. Not sometimes, but all the time. I feel it, I see it, I recognize it, I acknowledge it, and I'm truly grateful for it. So, filled with love, peace, and joy, relaxed and fully engaged, I take all of these ideas and release them into the law of mind. I know it is done and that all is well. Together we say, and so it is. All right. Well,